Did you bother to read it before you handed it out? Did you read it first before you handed it out? Probably not. And I can guess why. Because the same kind of person who's too lazy to read the back of the church tract is the same kind of person who's too lazy to read their Bible cover to cover. And it's the same kind of people who want to go by what somebody says instead of what this book says. And listen to me. This church has always stood for the same thing, and it came out of this book right here. Amen. And let me tell you something, buddy. You better read this book, and you better read the tract, and you better know what you're doing. You say, why are you so mad? Let me tell you why I'm so mad. Because I'm sick and tired of what Faithful Word Baptist Church is turning into. This is a great church. This is the best church I've ever been to, and I don't like what it's turning into, because I'll tell you what it's turning into. It's turning into a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about. Because they only just are a parrot who repeats Pastor Anderson. Now again, I'm not saying it's the majority, because it's not. But let me tell you something, and you listen to me good. And I'm not talking to people that are new. I'm not talking to people that have only been in church at Faithful Word for a few months. I'm not talking to people that are new. But let me tell you something. If you are in this church, and you've been in this church for a substantial amount of time, and you've never read this book cover to cover, you are not right with God, and you are nothing more than just parroting what Pastor Anderson said, or what you think he said, what I didn't even say. What I didn't even teach. You don't know what you're talking about. Let me quote Brother Chris Sosi. I like the way he put it. If you haven't read the Bible cover to cover, you don't know nothing. And I agree with you, Brother Chris. If you don't read it cover to cover, you don't know nothing. And let me tell you something. You can go out and go out and do a bunch of soul winning, and go out there and work and work and work, but know what you're talking about because you read this book.
Amen.
And you're off balance, my friend. If you got time for everything else, you got time to go out and talk to everybody about doctrine. You got time to chit-chat about doctrine and talk about all this stuff. You got time to get on the internet on some forum or some chat room or YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Talk a bunch of doctrine. Why don't you make the time to read this book?
Amen.
And the sad thing is that many people who think they're going to be a preacher one day are the ones that are the guilty ones that I'm talking about. Because they think they're going to preach one day and their preaching is going to be garbage.
Yep.
Because let me tell you about garbage. Garbage is something that's regurgitated up. Vomit. And let me tell you something. Unless you read the Bible for yourself and learn what you believe for yourself, all you're doing is chewing up Pastor Anderson's sermon. Chewing it up, swallow it, and then you just get up and bleh,